The 8th day of action down under at Melbourne Park proved to be a pivotal juncture in the 2026 Australian Open, with coveted spots in the quarterfinals officially up for grabs. While the intensity skyrocketed on every court and several heavyweights stamped their authority on the tournament, the day also delivered a seismic shockwave that has completely reshuffled the landscape of the men's bracket. Carlos Alcaraz put on a masterclass, arguably his finest showing of the fortnight, thus far dismantling Tommy Paul in 3 straight sets to cruise into the final 8 without having surrendered a single set all tournament. Right from the opening, coin toss, the Spaniard dictated terms with overwhelming physicality and relentless intensity, pinning Paul deep behind the baseline and robbing him of precious time to react. Although Paul attempted to maintain an aggressive stance, Alcaraz's defensive capabilities were simply otherworldly, consistently flipping the script to turn neutral rallies into devastating offensive opportunities. His forehand was an absolute weapon, particularly when he stepped inside the paint, while his delicate touch at the net left Paul completely stranded. Yet it was Alcaraz's overarching composure that truly stole the show. There was zero panic in his game. He played with a frightening calmness, elevating his output the moment Paul looked dangerous, solidifying his status as the undisputed gold standard of this year's event. Meanwhile, Alexander Zverev navigated a potential banana skin with expert precision, dismissing Francisco Cerundolo in straight sets to secure his own ticket to the quarterfinal stage. Cerundolo arrived with high hopes following a massive upset in the previous round, looking to dictate play with his forehand, but Zverev refused to let him establish any sustained rhythm or momentum. The German's serve proved to be an impenetrable fortress, particularly during the crunch moments, while his trademark backhand down the line repeatedly diffused Cerundolo's aggressive tactical shifts. Zverev displayed immense patience in the extended exchanges, happily absorbing the pace before pulling the trigger the instant an opening presented itself. Although the scoreboard might suggest a walk in the park, it was a tactically grueling affair where Zverev's mental fortitude and discipline were the difference makers, showcasing a mature performance from a contender hitting his stride. Home favorite Alex de Minaur proved once again why he is an absolute headache to face on these hard courts, sweeping past Alexander Bublik in straight sets amidst a raucous atmosphere inside Rod Laver Arena. While Bublik produced flashes of his typical genius, blending raw power with creative flair, the Demon simply refused to lose focus or allow the match to slip out of his control. De Minaur's electric foot speed and anticipation forced Bublik to redline his shots, resulting in costly errors during critical junctures, while the Aussie's return game was nothing short of spectacular. He applied relentless pressure on Bublik's service games, neutralizing free points, but the real highlight was his unwavering concentration. He stayed locked in from the first ball to the last, ignoring the unpredictable chaos coming from the other side of the net. This was a highly disciplined, high-octane victory that underscores de Minaur's surging belief that he can truly go all the way on his home soil. However, the headline story of Day 8 was the seismic upset delivered by learner Tien, who produced a stunning straight sets victory over the formidable Daniil Medvedev. The 20-year-old American played with ice in his veins, looking completely at home on the big stage. He seized the initiative early, stepping inside the baseline and refusing to let Medvedev drag him into a war of attrition. Tien's serving was a masterclass in placement over power, allowing him to consistently win the first strike and keep the former champion on the back foot. Medvedev appeared visibly rattled, unable to solve the riddle of Tien's rhythm or force the youngster into errors, and as the match wore on, Tien only grew bolder, closing out the sets with the authority of a seasoned veteran. It was a fearless, composed display that marks a true breakthrough moment for the young star, blowing this section of the draw wide open in the process. Switching over to the women's singles, Aryna Sabalenka continued her rampage toward a title defense with a comfortable straight sets dismantling of her opponent, looking sharp and imperious from the outset. She refused to let the contest get messy, managing the occasion with the supreme confidence of a defending champion who knows exactly how to navigate the second week of a major. Conversely, Coco Gauff had to dig deep to survive a stern examination from Karolina Muchova, eventually prevailing in a gritty 3-set battle. Muchova's courtcraft and variety posed serious questions, particularly during the middle stanza, but Gauff demonstrated incredible mental resilience to weather the storm. The American dialed up the intensity in the decider, tightening up her shot selection and leaning on her world-class athleticism to outlast her opponent, proving once again she can solve complex puzzles under immense pressure. Elsewhere, a significant upset shook the bracket as Elina Svitolina utilized her veteran savvy to defeat the rising star Mirra Andreeva in straight sets. Andreeva struggled to find her range all afternoon, failing to impose her aggressive game style and spraying uncharacteristic errors as she failed to take control of the rallies. In stark contrast, Svitolina was the picture of calm and discipline, using her years of experience to absorb the youngster's pace and ruthlessly expose her inconsistency. The Ukrainian remained rock solid during the extended exchanges and converted her opportunities, clinically sealing a controlled victory that books her spot in the next round and ends Andreeva's Australian campaign. Another headline-grabbing result came from 18-year-old Iva Jovic, who absolutely demolished Yulia Putintseva, dropping only one game in a 6-love 6-1 routing that showcased aggressive returning and confident shot-making. This young phenom has looked increasingly dangerous with every passing round, and this dominant showing confirms she is one of the most exciting talents remaining in the tournament. Taken as a whole, the 8th day felt like a definitive turning point where the pretenders were separated from the contenders. While the heavy favorites who advanced did so with conviction, learner Tien's shocking upset of Medvedev has blown the bottom half of the men's draw wide open. As we head into the quarterfinals, physical freshness and self-belief will be the currency of champions. If the action on day 8 taught us anything, it is that the 2026 Australian Open cares nothing for reputation. It is solely about who can step up and deliver when the lights are brightest. That wraps up the pulse-pounding action from day 8 of the Australian Open. If you enjoyed this update, please hit that like button and subscribe for more daily coverage. I will catch you all tomorrow.